what is entitlement and what causes it? People get this wrong all the time. People think that you become entitled when you're just spoiled or praised too much or never done anything on your own. But we're going to go deep into the inner worlds of entitled people and what makes someone entitled, how people become entitled, and we're going to smash some of these myths about entitlement. So part of my life's journey has been life throwing me narcissists and entitled people at me left and right. So I've done a lot of studying and observing of them, and how they act and how they behave. And when you really observe them clearly, the more you do, the more you learn about them. So I'm going to share this with you today. So first things first, the common consensus is that entitled people are created when they're just like spoiled with material things, like tons of toys, when they never have to do anything for themselves, or if they're praised too much. And the key issue with this is that almost always spoiling or praise that creates an entitled person is manipulative and controlling and selfish. When a selfish, manipulative, controlling parent uses material gifts to keep up the image of being a good parent, so that then they can shame you and gaslight you. So it's like, I give you a lot of gifts, I buy you all these things, and you still act like this, so then I'm going to shame you. I tell you all these nice things about yourself. I say these nice things about you in front of everyone else so I can keep up this image in my mind that I'm a good parent, okay? And so this image is the most important thing to understand, is that the entitled, abusive, manipulative, controlling parent has this image that they're a good parent. It's a false image. It's an illusion. They think they're good. They do harm, and they don't see it. This is exactly what the entitled child inherits. This good self-image. I'm a good person, but I'm doing harm. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion in their mind. The reason why entitled people give gifts or give praise always comes from selfish reasons. I need people to like me. I need people to think I'm a good parent. I need to convince myself I'm a good parent, right? So what that child inherits is also selfishness. They become selfish, entitled. And so an entitled individual, again, they have this false sense of self, that they deserve special treatment, that they deserve good treatment. But to go a little bit deeper into it, it's like they were shamed so much in childhood that feeling shame is like a life or death issue for them. And so now, since they deny their shame, deny their guilt, all their wrongdoing, they have this false sense of self, that they're a good person, that they do nothing wrong, that they're innocent in all situations. So then they expect the others around them to treat them as if they're this innocent, awesome, amazing person, without seeing how much of an asshole they're being or how awful they are. It's a survival mechanism that's learned and taught by entitled parents, which is definitely a form of hardship. No amount of hardship, this is another myth, no amount of hardship will make someone less entitled. It often makes people more entitled, because what made them entitled was emotional neglect, abuse, and hardship. And so entitled people often have a victim complex where they believe they're the victim in all situations. So when you pile on more hardship, it fuels the fire that they're a victim of the world. And the thing is, they were a victim at one point in their life, in their childhood. They were a victim of abuse. They were gaslighted with usually material gifts, money. I buy all this stuff for you, I'm not a bad parent. And then they think, so with that gaslighting, it created an illusion in the mind that nothing bad happened to them. So then that child part of them that was a victim continues to stay in that victim mode and that victim state of being and energy, consciousness, that comes out whenever they're acting entitled, right? Or whenever they're playing the victim. It's like they revert back into a child where they're a victim of everything, because if they've never truly accepted that they were a victim because of gaslighting, so then they continue in this completely immature, underdeveloped self where they still think they're the innocent child and everyone should treat them like they're innocent and awesome when they are not. It's kind of interesting it's really complex how this works in the world, because the masses kind of reward entitlement in the way that like systems jobs are set up, manipulation and control as well. These people learn they can blame others for everything, manipulate people, control people, and people will put up with it. They can still have friends. They can still maybe have lots of friends. And if people don't put up with their entitlement with them, they will just go find someone who does. So the reason why entitled people are so common is because it is so common for people to excuse entitlement, not see through it, be afraid of people. A lot of people on this earth are afraid of everyone. We have so much fear in humanity, where if someone is a little bit dominating or a little bit, assholery, people fear them and want to be liked by them, or they'll fawn for them. They'll be like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, so that they are not the target of bullying, right? It's like, if you don't fawn the dominant individual, the entitled individual, the narcissist, the abuser, then you become the bullied. So a lot of people choose to take sides with entitled people so that they're not the outcast. So basically, it is so disrespectful to children and humanity to say that like abundance and love and support, too much of it, would create like these like really horrible assholery people. Because when most children are starved of love. Most of us have never experienced true love, because a lot of people think that control is love. Almost everyone on this earth was conditioned to think that control is love. Your parents control you, your parents do all these things, and they think it's love. And so to tell people like you're just like loving your kid too much, you're going to turn them into a narcissist, that is extremely harmful, because it's not actually love. It's manipulation. Parents use the material, or love bombing, narcissistic parents especially, to manipulate. So then they teach their children how to be narcissistic, how to be entitled. They always learn from their parents. And this is another thing that like gives narcissistic parents a fuel to their delusions, is that they think that, people tell them, your kid turned out so entitled and narcissistic just because you spoiled him, not because you neglected them, weren't present with them, controlled them. And there's one more thing about control. Narcissistic parents especially hate their children having independence. So it's like they won't let you do things on your own, learn your own lessons. They won't teach you how to do things, because they have this deep fear that if you are independent, then you won't need them and you'll kick them out of your life. Because they know they're insecure. They're deeply insecure. And so when a child goes their whole life without having to do things on their own, they most likely had a very controlling parent. Or they most likely had a very controlling parent, or they could have witnessed their own family dynamics where, they watched one parent boss the other parent around and tell the other parent what to do, and that's what they learned that men do or women do, or this is how relationships work. And they just carry these illusions and this programming into their life, but it has really nothing to do with the material or the praise. All entitled people went through trauma. They all did. Even the ones that I've met in my life, I've never met an entitled person who was just spoiled a lot, even and like praised too much. Because if you don't know what a narcissistic family system is, the golden child is often the one who is favored by the narcissistic parent and given all the love and the attention. But it's still not love. It is manipulation and control. And just because the words that come out of someone's mouth are, you're such a great kid, you're so good at this, doesn't mean that the child receives that as love and care. What they're actually receiving is the energy of how to manipulate people, how to be selfish, and how to be entitled. All entitled children learned from their parents. They inherited the energy of their parents. And most likely that energy was controlling, manipulative, and abusive. So, thank you for watching. My name is Abigail. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.